are here because the outside world rejects you.
Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to another Turtle Updates video where we combine some of the latest Ninja Turtles news stories that have come out. And this video is really interesting. We're going to have some stories here that you're not going to want to miss. There's been some really interesting news that has come out, some having to do with Mutant Mayhem, and also the potential of some 2003 figures that look like are on the way, plus some video game news. You're not going to want to miss any of this. But let's waste no time and go ahead and dive on in to story number 1. Alright, this first one's a pretty big one. We're looking at this over here on IGN.com. You can see the headline right there. It says, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem to get video game spin-off. So yeah, that's massive news. We knew we were getting a Last Ronin video game, which is a different Ninja Turtles universe, for those who may not know. But we didn't know that the Mutant Mayhem Ninja Turtles were also going to get a video game. So yeah, this is big news. Let's take a look at the article here a little bit. It says, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game renaissance continues, this time with a new game based on the recently released animated movie. Then we go a little further into the article and it says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem from Family Video Game Specialists Outright Games is set in the world of the animated movie with which it shares a name. So yeah, it sounds like the game itself is also called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. And then it says it is due out in 2024 on consoles and PC. Then you get a little bit of a description here of the game. It says the game takes place months after the events of the movie and features visuals inspired by the film's eye-catching painterly art style. Expect to see various memorable characters from the Turtles universe pop up in the game, as well as a stylized take on New York City, which is under a new mutant threat. Now, there wasn't an announcement trailer, but they did show this piece of concept art right here for the game. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. There you see it. You have all 4 turtles jumping down, fighting some other mutants. You can see Donatello up there fighting Genghis Frog. You also see Michelangelo kicking another mutant, which looks like has some type of an antenna or ray gun attached on them. Then you go down here and you have Raphael and Leonardo, and you see Rocksteady there kind of leaping forward towards Raphael, which is kind of interesting because at the end of the movie, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it yet, Rocksteady's friends with the turtles. So I wonder if he's just going to help you along missions and stuff, or if something happens where he becomes your enemy again. Now in this image, we do see some other new mutants that weren't in the movie. Right there next to Leo, you could see a dolphin mutant, which we haven't seen before. And then slightly above the dolphin mutant, you could see some type of a hippopotamus mutant, which kind of reminds me of Hypnopotamus from the Rise of the TMNT show. And then above the hippopotamus, you could see some type of a praying mantis type mutant who looks like is wearing roller skates or something like that. So yeah, just looking at this, I'm kind of getting the feeling that these mutants are like the bosses. And then you have some like minion mutated bees with like punching gloves on their hands that are kind of just sprinkled all throughout the image. They kind of look like Superfly a little bit, like in the face, but I don't think they have anything to do with him, as he was a fly and these are bees. They're just similar, or maybe they are connected in some way and it'll be revealed in the game. But yeah, that's pretty much it on the new image. You can see right here, there's a quote from Doug Rosen, who is Senior Vice President of Games and Emerging Media at Paramount. And the quote says, the vibrancy of this new film's animation lends itself perfectly to video games, and we can't wait for everyone to play it. But yeah, that's all the news right there on the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem video game. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. I'll be covering this one more as more details come out. But that's it on this one. Let's move on over to the next story, which you're not going to want to miss. All right, this next one's a big story, and this one's coming over here from the Foosh YouTube channel, and they recently did an interview with Brian Flynn, who is the founder and owner of Super 7, and he dropped the bombshell in the interview. Apparently, he originally announced it at PowerCon, and that is the next wave of turtle figures that they're going to be doing over there at Super 7. So yeah, in the interview, he says that the next wave for later this year was going to be Ninja Turtles figures from the 2003 series, but that they had to move it to 2024. But still, regardless, this is the first that we've heard of new versions of the 2003 figures, and that's massive. There hasn't been figures of those turtles since way back when they were doing the show, so like pretty much 20 years ago, which is wild. So yeah, expect next year some new 2003 Turtles figures. And when he was explaining it in the interview, it sounds like they already have a couple waves planned for this line. So there'll be an initial wave of 2003 figures, probably sometime in early 2024. And it also sounds like there'll be another wave of them later on in the year. Go check out that interview. He starts talking about it about halfway through the interview. So yeah, definitely go check it out. But super exciting. Can't wait to see which characters they do in that first wave. Will it be just the turtles, or will it be like one turtle and a combination with some other characters from the show? I feel like people have been waiting a long time for some new 2003 figures. These ones are definitely going to make some waves, and we'll talk about them as soon as they show them off. That's going to be sick. But yeah, not much else on this one, just that tease there of what's to come. But we do have some more turtle news, so let's keep going. Alright, this next one has to do with the upcoming 2D animated Paramount Plus series, Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. In our last updates video, we talked about this picture here of Raphael, which was done by Philip Allora, who you can see right there on his Instagram is a director and story artist. And yeah, he's working on the new show. And ever since he dropped that Raphael image, which by the way, we don't know if that's going to be the official look of how they'll look in the show, but I feel like it does give us a good idea, or at the very least lets us imagine how the Mutant Mayhem Turtles will look in 2D. Anyways, yeah, he dropped more pictures of the rest of the turtles. So let's go ahead and take a look at them. You could see the first one that he dropped there after Raphael was Leonardo. And you could see him there kicking forward with his swords in hand. Next, we look over here at Donatello, which looks sweet. It's pretty cool seeing the Mutant Mayhem Turtles in 2D like this. If they haven't decided like on a final look for this show, they should definitely go with something like this. They look cool. They look like the Mutant Mayhem Turtles, but 2D. I could definitely see people enjoying this design here. And then lastly, right there, you could see Michelangelo and he's upside down, swinging his nunchucks. And actually, you could see right there's a comment where someone asks, are these the designs for the show? You can see that Philip responded. He said, these are my interpretations of the Mutant Mayhem movie turtles, which inspired the designs for the fan art. So yeah, it does sound like these are just his interpretations of the Mutant Mayhem Turtles. Then he says that the actual series designs will be interesting and fresh when it debuts in the future. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to wait a little longer to see the official designs. But I mean, I don't know how much different they're gonna look. These are the Mutant Mayhem Turtles here in 2D. So I expect they'll look something like this, but we'll have to wait till then. But let's move on over to the next story. Alright, this next one's quick but pretty cool. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were immortalized in a hand printing ceremony at the historic Chinese theater. They had a big event for this hand imprint ceremony. They had some press, some fans, and they had the Mutant Mayhem Ninja Turtles come out in those Jim Henson promotional suits that they did for the new movie. And yeah, they got their hand imprinted on these like pizza slice shaped cement blocks. And they also had co-creator of the Ninja Turtles, Kevin Eastman, there. And he gave a cool speech about the Turtles and like what's led up to this. And you can see right there that he signed on the centerpiece of the handprints, Eastman plus Laird, as a tribute to both him and the other co-creator of the Ninja Turtles, Peter Laird. Eastman did mention how Laird doesn't really travel that much anymore, so this was like a super cool way to have both of them kind of like immortalized on that centerpiece there. But yeah, not much else on this one. Thought it was just a cool historic moment there, as now the Turtles will be part of the famous Chinese theater. Alright, this next one's coming over here from character designer and visual development artist Justin Runfola. And spoiler warning for those who haven't seen Mutant Mayhem yet, definitely click away now, as we're going to talk a little bit of spoilers having to do with like the very end of the film. So yeah, as we saw at the end of the movie, the Shredder shows up. But we never got a full look at him, and we probably won't until the next movie, which has already been announced, is on the way. But here on Justin's account over on Twitter/X, you can see that he put up concept art pieces that they did for the Shredder in the movie, and there's actually quite a bit of them. Let's take a look. First, you have this one here, which kind of looks a little bit inspired by like the 1990 movie Shredder, especially like the face mask, not so much with like the clothes. Maybe it's a little Secret of the Ooze inspired, but let's keep looking. Here you have this one here, and he's all beefy there. Again, the mask looks inspired by the 1990 movie, but like the armor and clothes and stuff is a little different. Then we have this one here of him without his helmet, and you can see that he's all tatted up and his eyes just look like really menacing. This one looks pretty sweet. Would be cool to see this one with the helmet on. I think this one could work really well. And then finally, you see right here, one of him in like no armor. This is him just as Oroku Saki, but that's not it. There's more. You can see this one here, and this almost looks like a super Shredder, like he got injected with the mutagen or something. Then there's this one here of him again just as Oroku Saki. Notably, he does have a lot of scratches on his face, presumably from Splinter. I do have a whole theory about how there is more to Splinter's backstory that he didn't reveal. But anyways, there's more pictures here. Here you see one of him in more like traditional style armor, and he's all black with like some red accents and some gold on the armor. This one looks cool, but it doesn't really look like the Shredder, at least how most people know him. I feel like the other designs would work a little better. And then there's this one here of him pretty much wearing the whole Shredder getup, but he is missing the face mask part. And again, his face is all scratched up. There is more. Let's keep going. I did like this one here. This one is very reminiscent of the old 80s Shredder action figure. We've never seen him in these colors like outside of that figures line. It would be pretty cool to see Shredder like that in motion. Then you have this one here, which looks very much inspired by the 1987 television series version of the Shredder. It's pretty much the same design except with like Mutant Mayhem human proportions, where everything's just kind of like a little off. And then you have some more here of him without armor, just Oroku Saki himself. And you can see right there in the caption, it says this one's more of like a Yakuza style Oroku Saki. And you can see him there all tatted up, and again, still has the scratches on his face. Next, we have this one here. No real armor or helmet or anything like that. It's almost like he's training here. And then you have a couple more Super Shredder style versions of him. And then there's this older version of him there where he has like a white beard. The last ones there, or he does look like Super Shredder-ish, are kind of touched on in the caption here on the posts. It says, this is the last batch of Shredder concepts, kind of like Super Shredder, or maybe he's always been super. Thanks for the love and support. I had so much fun and really appreciate getting the opportunity to help with the design. So yeah, that's an interesting approach, having the Shredder start off already as Super Shredder. I think I'd rather see him start off as just regular Shredder first, but definitely would want to see something like this later on. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Mutant Mayhem Shredder concept art that was recently revealed. I wonder if they ended up picking one of these for the sequel. We'll just have to wait and see. Let me know in the comments down below which one you thought worked the best. Alright, and last story here, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is now available on digital. We're looking at it over here on Amazon Prime. Looks like you could rent for 20 bucks or buy for 25 bucks. And that's available on all the other platforms as well, by the way. I've seen it on Vudu, iTunes. It's out everywhere on digital. And you can see that they do have some bonus content with it, some like behind the scenes stuff. So definitely go check that out if you're interested. But that's pretty much it on all the updates for now. Let me know down below, what do you think? I thought it was pretty cool that we're going to get new versions of the 2003 figures. That's wild. I'm also really excited to see what the Mutant Mayhem video game looks like. It's pretty cool that it kind of continues the story of the movie. It sounds like it's all going to be connected. But yeah, thanks once again everybody for watching. Remember to follow on all the socials. Links are down below in the description. Also go check out the website www.theoldturtleden.com. There's a bunch of cool stuff on there as well. But that wraps it up. I will see you all in a little bit with another video. Take care.